Hello again. This is Erin Dragonson, and this is video number 3 in our little series. So this will give you the big overall picture of where humanity came from, where we're going, why we're here now, and how it all works out. Okay? So way back when, do you remember a story that goes something like there was this first human male and this first human female, and they were living in a Garden of Eden, a paradise on earth, until one day knowledge of good and evil was offered to them. And they say the woman ate that fruit, took in that knowledge. And because of that knowledge, humanity was cast out of the garden of paradise. So there are some elements to that story that are meaningful. They may not be the elements we've heard a lot about, but the reality is what I've received from that is that before that period, before the symbolic eating of the tree of knowledge, humans were much more on an animal level. A way you could say this is that the spirit portion of our beings did not enter into humans at that time. We lived as the apes do, as the whales do, as, squirrels do. So we had, it's not to say that's a bad thing. Animals have a different connection, a different way of connection, a different level of connection than humans do. But there was a consciousness that was missing. That consciousness came into us, into the human form, and we became a partnership of animal consciousness from the body and soul consciousness, which came through the elements of the mind and heart, especially the heart. So when that happened, the innocence of the animal existence was lost. A cat, doesn't fret about the past or the future particularly. And, they may have trauma, they may have sadness, they may have things, but it's not like humans do. They live much more in the moment and much more, because of that, much more in something that we could see as a paradise. We lost that a long time ago, and that's okay. That was actually on purpose. We started this spiritual descent into ego, into human materialist sort of consciousness, because we wanted to experience that, because there were great lessons to be learned, fabulous, fast advancement as a soul on this planet, like you would not believe, like almost nowhere else in the universe do souls evolve this quickly. Only the strongest of the souls come here. So, or the most adventurous, at least, up until now, up until recently. So we set out on this journey like infants at that time when we first came into human form. We were infants. We grew spiritually, mentally, all through the tens of thousands of years, if not hundreds of thousands of years of human evolution, human existence. And along the way, there have been ups and downs, there have been ins and outs, but at least in the arc of history that we know of, we have been on this trajectory into deeper and deeper and deeper states of exile from spirit, self-imposed. We've closed off our awareness of spirit, our awareness of soul. Some of that has been imposed upon us, but we chose it as well, because this is an experiment. We wanted to see what happens, how far we could go into ego, what it's like when we do, what that does for the spiritual evolution of the individual soul as we live through those lives. So it's been a very purposeful experience. And we have gone as far as we can go with that experiment. We've seen what we create when we are living solely on a material plane. We, a lot of people, it's changing. It's changed enormously in my lifetime. But when I was younger, people didn't believe in spirits, in the afterlife, in communications from the other side, in near-death experiences, in life after death. People didn't believe animals had souls or even feelings. There is so much that's changed, but we've really begun waking up. We are moving back into that spiritual state, that spiritually connected state. What this is going to create for this world, you will not believe. But everything you've yearned for is on the other side of that transition. And I'll talk a little bit about, or maybe a lot about that later. So in the past, we chose to go into ego. And then in the 80s, we decided, okay, we've gone as far as we can go. We were on the verge of killing the planet, but then on the verge of wiping ourselves out as a species anyway. We've seen just how, what happens. We've seen what that experiment yielded in terms of results, the world that we created, the personalities that we created, the experiences that we created. With that, okay, we've done this, good, thanks, that's enough. It's like a really bad math class, unless you like math, and then it's maybe like a really bad art class. I don't know. It's like, oh my God, thanks, thank goodness that's over. And then we are now moving into a new age. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about that shift, but maybe I'll do that in the next video because I think this one's probably long. I'm not even keeping track. I'm hoping it's not too long. So that, anyway, that's the broad picture. That's the broad stroke of what we're doing. And you are here on purpose to be part of it. And I can say that with 100% certainty, because if you were watching this video, I know that to be true about you. Anyone who's not would not be watching this video. I mean, a lot of people are and aren't watching the video because they're doing whatever else, but I know that for a fact. So if you're watching, I am so glad you're part of this with me, with all of us, because it's a big job and we need all of us to make it work. So in the next video, I want to tell you a little bit about who you are and why you're here. And maybe I can talk a little bit about the transition that's already happened, because we have come a long, long way. All right. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take good care. Bye-bye.